So finally, after a long time, I'm finally able to read Spider-Man issue number 1 and get to review it for you guys. So let's get into it. So the comic pretty much starts off with the Avengers, Iron Man, Falcon, Captain America, She-Hulk, Hawkeye, all laying on top of a bunch of rubble, and you see some text bubbles there saying, "What happened here? Who are you? I don't understand what you want." And of course, Miles Morales is talking to none other than Blackheart, the notorious villain from Hell. And of course, like most villains, he's pretty much there to fuck shit up and trying to take over the Earth. So yeah. After this, we go to the Brooklyn Academy where Miles Morales is getting chewed out by a girl he stood up to do some Spider-Man stuff. And as we find out, Miles Morales actually begged her for weeks to go out with her because, as we find out later, he finds her extremely hot and wants to make out with her. And she kind of goes on to say, "What's more important than me?" And it cuts to a very spectacular Spider-Man style art, which I'm not a big fan of him fighting Shocker in this whole new universe and everything. After this, we go to Genk and Miles having a kind of friend-on-friend talk, and Genk is telling Miles, "Dude, you need to get yourself a superpowered girlfriend. You can't have these normal girls and expect a quality life mate, especially with your big dangerous secret, you know?" And Miles like, "I wasn't looking for a girlfriend, man. I just wanted someone to bang more or less." Which, I mean, Miles is pretty thirsty for a 16-year-old, which, I mean, makes sense, but still, you know, kind of 16-year-olds are gonna do what 16-year-olds do. After this, we cut to Miles in school, and he's supposed to read a book, but he doesn't get it done because, you know, he's busy being Spider-Man, and the teacher yells at him, and she's like, "What's more important than the book?" And it cuts to another kind of spectacular Spider-Man style art where he's fighting this armadillo guy, and girls are falling in love with him. Which, I mean, that's kind of the dream, right? The one of the perks of being Spider-Man there. After this, as he's about to leave, as he hears sirens outside, he does get a call from his mother. Which, if you don't know, due to the events of Secret Wars, the final issue, due to Miles' effort and goodwill, everything from the first 25 issues got erased, so his mom's alive. So therefore, she does not know he is Spider-Man, which actually comes to play in this next part right here. She called him to talk about his grades and is chewing him out. Then she passed them to his dad. And his dad's pretty much like, you've upset your mother, which he does know he is Spider-Man. He's like, "Just make sure you get your grades up and yeah, I'll see you on Friday." And his mom is in disbelief like, "That's it? You're not going to chew him out?" His dad's like, "He said he's going to get it together, he'll get it together." So, after the phone call ends, Miles does head towards the sirens and he does save a bus full of children after a huge explosion. And the civilians are like, "Hey dude, go to the explosion, we'll get this." So he's like, "Damn, you're right." Which Miles is really slipping in this universe, man, I swear. Getting used to everything. So he heads to the explosion. He's like, "Man, I hope the Avengers are here." Which they are, and then you see another explosion which sends Miles flying back, and pretty much you see Iron Man's helmet along with him, which is obviously taking place in the first issue here. Well, in the first panel. And then Miles sees Captain America, the Falcon, fighting Blackheart. As Captain America throws his shield at Blackheart, he releases a wave, like an energy wave, and sends them flying back, which actually ends up knocking Captain America out. And Miles out as well. When Miles wakes up, he does see a Captain America's shield, and he's like, "Man, do I dare? Do I really dare to grab it?" Which he does. He ends up fighting Blackheart, and as always, he ends up giving uh, Blackheart the old Venom Blast, which attacks his demonic nervous system, as Miles puts it, and it really angers Blackheart, and he's like, "I'll be back for you to kill you." After this, you see Spider-Man appear behind Miles, and he's like, "What did you do? Like, what the fuck is going on here?" Because he just shows up, and the Avengers are on the ground dead. Miles is holding Cap's shield, and he just saw a demon swearing to come back and kill everyone and take over the Earth. So yeah, that was pretty much the issue. It's definitely a strong first issue. I do like what they're doing. The art is good, with the exception of the little spectacular Spider-Man side panels there, which I'm not a big fan of. It just seems really kind of goofy and unnecessary, but I mean, I'll get used to it. I'm not gonna hate on it for. I'm not gonna hate on the comic for a little piece of it. But yeah, it introduces Miles in this new universe. It does what it needs to. It keeps the humor of Miles, and it definitely keeps the heart. You can tell creators of Miles Morales still clearly care about him, and they're going to do his best to put out a decent story. Which is why I am going to give this issue a strong 8 out of 10, and I do recommend that you guys pick it up. So yeah, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and thanks for listening.